This is a recording for the 3NT revision. In the first question, we have to factorize 3a squared b plus 12ab squared. So we will be removing the common factors, and after that, we'll do a division and we end up with the factorized form. So looking at this 3a squared b, a squared b plus 12ab squared. Comparing the numbers, 3 is a common factor. Comparing the letters a squared and a, only one of them is a common factor. B and b squared, only one of them is a common factor. So when we take 3a squared b divided by 3ab, we are left with only a. When we take the same 12ab squared divided by the same 3ab, 12 divided by 3, we are left with 4. A and a, when divided, gives us 1. B squared divided by b leaves us with b. So this is how we do it. Alternatively, to visualize better, our 3a squared can be written like this, 3aa, okay, rather 3 times a times b plus 12. Now 12 can be rewritten as 3 times 4 times a times b times b. Okay, so now we are going to remove the common factors. We see that 3 is a common factor, a is a common factor, b is a common factor. So write down 3, a, b. These are factorized out already, all the highlighted parts. So now open bracket, we are left with only a, and we are left with plus 4b. Now next, question 2, to factorize. Draw your 9 squares. The multiplication x squared and negative 15. So only x and x will give us x squared. So we need to fill in the two blanks over here. Some of the factors of negative 15 will be, for example, negative 5 and 3. So let's try this out. Negative 5 times x gives me negative 5x. Next, x times 3 gives me 3x. So based on this, we end up with 3x minus 5x, which is negative 2x. So we know that our options that we have chosen are correct, which brings us to x minus 5 multiplied by x plus 3. Now to simplify this subtraction of fractions, we have to ensure that their denominators are the same. The lowest common multiple for both of these, 6 and 9, will be 18. So we're going to make sure the denominators are 18. So this gives us 3x divided by 18 minus over 18. We multiply both numerator and denominator by 2. 2x minus 1. Now it's time to combine. 3x minus 2 times of 2x minus 1. Expand. Negative 2 times 2x, negative 4x. Negative 2 multiplied by negative 1, we get positive 2. So our final answer will be negative x plus 2 over 18. Next, simplifying. Since it is a division, we keep change flip. So this results in 5cd 2d times d times d. If you can work with d cubed, good. If you cannot, you can write it out this way. So all these are multiplications. So change the sign and flip 4d 3c. So we remove all the common factors, one of the d, one of the d. Then we go diagonally. C and C, 2 and 4, D and D. Now we compare the numerator. 5 multiplied by 2, 10. Denominator, D times 3 3D. Next, over here, we do the simplification again. Go diagonally, 3 and 9, left with 3, 5, 10, left with 2. So in the numerator, we have r times s divided by 6. Now to solve this, we subtract x on both sides. We're left with 4x minus 5 equals to negative 17. Now 4x minus x is simply 3x. Instead of having a minus 5, I want to add 5 to both sides. So minus 5 plus 5 equals to 0. So that leaves me with negative 17 plus 5. So 3x is equals to negative 12. X has to be negative 4. So what I did over here was to divide by 3. Next, since the denominators are 5 and 10, we can multiply by 2 here. We also multiply by 2. So that results in 4x minus 16 over 10 equals to 1 over 10. Since the denominators are the same, then the numerators must also be the same for them to be equal. Which brings us to 4x minus 16 equals to 1. We add 16 to both sides. And now we divide by 4 on both sides. Candy is 5 years younger than her brother. Her brother is X. Find Candy's age. Candy's age is X minus 5 years old. Find X. So this other information we have not used it yet. Basically the two ages, you add them together, you will get 33. So the sum of the age, Candy is X, Joshua is X, Candy is X minus 5. This gives us 33. So 2x minus 5 is 33. 2x, you add 5 to both sides, we get 38. So divided by 2, 19. Which means that Joshua is 19 years old. Now in 4 years' time, today, Joshua is 19. Candy is 5 years younger, so that's 14. 4 years later, Joshua is 23. Candy is 18. Total 41 years old. 23 plus 18, 41 years old. Another way is to simply take 33 plus 8 to give us 41, because both of them increase by 4 years each. So now to solve this, using the formula, we identify that A has a value of 1, B has a value of negative 5, and C has a value of 3. So substituting it into the formula of x equals to minus B plus minus square root B squared minus 4AC over 2A. So this gives us two different answers. They are 4.30277 or 0.6972. So because they want it in two decimal places, we're going to round off 4.30 or 0.70. Now there's a rectangular garden on a plot of land. The breadth is x. The length of the garden over here is 8 more than x. So this must be 8 plus x. Answer over here, 8 plus x, x plus 8, they are the same thing. So 8 meters. We have now an expression for the area. So area, it will be the length times the breadth. So 8 plus x multiplied by x. So this is an expression. You can leave it like this, or you can leave it like this. X squared plus 8x. They are the same. So now they tell you that the area is 92 square meters. We're going to use what we have in part B area, x squared plus 8x, and this is supposed to be 92. So our job is to make this look like this. So we see that both of them, we have x squared already, we've got a plus 8x, and instead of a minus 92, I've got equal to 92. So what I can do is to subtract 92 on both sides, leaving me with x squared plus 8x minus 92, and on the right hand side left with 0. And now they are the same. So we put on shown. So the next part is to solve. Again, identify your values of a, b, and c. A is 1, b 8, c negative 92. X will be minus 8 plus minus square root 8 square minus 4, 1 negative 92. 2 times of 1. So since they want the answer to be in 3SF, we know that we need to have more than 3SF as our intermediate step. So here we have 6.3923, or the other answer is negative 14.3923. So this round off to give us 6.39 or negative 14.4. So here they're asking us to solve, and there are two answers. We do not reject at this point. Only in part E, where we have to find the parameter. So we look at our answer in part D, 6.3923 or negative 14.3923. I'm using the value that has more than 3SF, and we have to reject this because x itself is the breadth. This cannot be less than 0, it cannot be negative. So we will reject the negative value. The parameter is therefore x plus x, that's the 2 breadth, plus x plus 8, that's the length, plus another x plus 8, which gives us a total of 4x plus 16. Now we do the substitution. 4 times of 6.3923 plus 16. So we have 41.5692, round off to 3SF, 41.6 meters. So elimination method for solving simultaneous equation, we let this be equation number 1, let this be equation number 2. So we compare x terms. Can I make a 5 to become a 12? So that's not easy. Likewise, 4 to become 2. Yes, we can divide this by 2, but we would end up with 5 divided by 2, which is a fraction, and 11 over 2, which is a fraction, which we would rather not happen. So can we make a 12 look like a 5? Yeah, yes, but it is not easy. What about the 2 to become a 4? And it is much easier. We need to multiply by 2. So let us take equation number 2 multiplied by 2, and we will end up with 24x, because 12x times 2 gives us 24. 2y times 2 gives us 4y. 9 times 2 is 18. We call this equation number 3. So now I'm not interested in equation number 2 anymore. We are only going to focus on equation number 1 and equation number 3. We see that there is a negative 4y and a positive 4y. In order to eliminate them, we will add 1 and 3. So let us compare the left-hand side for equation number 1. 5x minus 4y. That is the left-hand side for equation number 1. We're going to add that, because it says add, we're going to add that to the left-hand side for equation number 3. So plus 24x plus 4y. So now we have completed the left-hand side for both equation 1 and equation number 3. Now we consider the right-hand side, which is 11 plus 18. So 5x plus 24x, we get 29x. Negative 4y plus 4y, no surprises, it is 0. That is the whole idea of elimination. This gives us 29. X must therefore be equal to 1. Now you can choose to substitute into either equation 1, equation 2, or equation number 3. So let us substitute this into equation number 1, which means that 5 times of 1 plus minus 4y is 11. So 4y gives us a value of negative 6, y equals to negative 3 over 2. So these are our answers for x and for y. So now using the substitution method, it is similar. So we've got equation number 1 and equation number 2. Now equation number 1 contains a variable with a coefficient of 1. So in this case, it is y. So let's make y the subject. From equation number 1, y has a value of 2x minus 6. So I subtracted 6 on both sides. So let's call this equation number 3. We sub into equation number 2. Every time I see the y, I change it to 2x minus 6. So inside equation number 3, inside equation number 2, it looks like this. 6x minus 2 times of y, 2x minus 6 equals to 13. So do the expansion. 6x minus 4x, and on the other side, negative and negative gives us positive 13. So we have 2x equals to 1. X is half, and sub into equation number 3 to find the value of y. So y equals to 2 times of half minus 6, which is negative 5. These are our x and y values. And now for question 13, we need to complete the table of values, so we need to find this value. To do so, we just, every time we see the x, we change it with a bracket. So y equals to negative 1/3, I see an x, put a bracket, then plus 5. Now the value of x is negative 3. So key exactly this into your calculator and we'll see that this gives us 6. So plot the graph. When x is negative 3, y is 6. Negative 3, 6, 0, 5, 3, 4, 6, 3, 9, 2. So you join the points with a straight line. And this is our equation. This is our graph. And put on the equation, we have y equals to negative 1/3 x plus 5. State the gradient of the line. Now in part B, gradient equals to the coefficient of x. Just recall, y equals to mx plus c. M is gradient, c is the y-intercept. So the gradient is negative 1/3. So again, we have to complete the tables. Same strategy. Every time we see the x, we change it to a bracket. Plus 3 bracket plus 2. So the value we want is negative 1. Put that in. Calculator will give us 0. So plot the following into the table. So negative 4 and 6. X is negative 4. Y has a value of 6. X is negative 3. Y is 2. X is negative 2. Y is 0. And then it is symmetrical. So now we have to join. We have to join them up. Okay, so here we have our graph. Y equals to x squared plus 3x plus 2. Some things to take note. There has to be one smooth curve. It cannot look hairy. And I noticed that quite a number of you actually tried to force the graph to go through this point when there's no reason to. This is not a coordinate, so there's no reason to force it through that point. Okay, now use your graph to find the coordinates of the minimum point. First, we need to identify it. And this is the minimum point. The coordinates, we start with the x coordinate. It has a value of negative 1.5. So negative 1.5. And it has a y coordinate of negative 0.3. Next, to find the values of x when y equals to 3. So we draw the line of y equals to 3, level 3. So you should use a ruler for this. And identify these values, where they intersect. And over here, so I can see that this is negative 3.35. over here, this value is 0.35. These are my two x values. Your x values may be the same, they may be slightly different. So x equals to negative 3.35 and 0.35. Finally, the equation of the line of symmetry. The line of symmetry will pass through the minimum point. So this vertical line is my line of symmetry. It looks like a block. So we call it x equals to negative 1.5. And that is our line of symmetry.